texting? What's so important? You got some dick on this Friday night? That was, I want that dick text. Yeah, you got your gum ready for the fresh breath. You gotta kiss him before you suck it. Gonna blow a bubble on that motherfucker. That needs some skills. Rap, rap. Fellas, isn't that the best when a girl's chewing on this pussy? You'll be looking at that gum for 3 days. Where do you gotta go for it? What part of town? Portsmouth? Newport News? You look like you like to live on the edge. I'm gonna go to Portsmouth after dark for that dick. The best part about this whole conversation, nobody's saying no. Her friend, he knows him, and she just sitting there. I do like some dangerous dick. I do like some dangerous dick. Well, let me see. What time is it? What time is it right now? What? 8:45. So I'm thinking about 10 o'clock. You're gonna have that Portsmouth dick in your mouth. I'll be thinking about you, baby. Yo, it's about that time. Ain't nothing to be ashamed of. It's Friday, you're having a good time with your girls, you're drinking, ain't bothering nobody. Yeah. Don't have her drop you off, okay? She's gonna be yelling at the house. She's ready to get that dick pushed in. Bye, girl, call me after. I want to hear all the details. Circumcised, uncircumcised, short, long, curved to the right, curved to the left, let me know. Cops gonna pour over on the way home. You know how fast she's going? I'm sorry, officer. I've dropped my girl off at Portsmouth to get that dick tonight. Did he text back? Why didn't he come to the show? No good motherfucker, man. Fuck that
Then I was a cop. I was a cop in the Navy too. I was a great cop for you guys. I was terrible for the Navy. I just let everybody go. I didn't see the point of arresting people. It was like, what the fuck? It's just paperwork I got to fill out. I ain't trying to do all that. Yeah. Because 90% of stuff you get on base is like DUIs or something like that, you know? So that's why I like to work at nights. I work 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Nobody's looking over my shoulder. I could do what I wanted. So I can't tell you how many people I pulled over and let go. Because what I would do, as long as you was cool, I'd take your keys. I'd say, look, I get off at 6 a.m., be at the Master Arms office at 6 a.m., I'll give you your keys back. And I'd drop them off at the barracks or base housing. Nobody ever slept. I never had a motherfucker. I never went home with somebody's keys. I don't care if I pulled a motherfucker over at 5:45. That motherfucker wake up and be at the Master Arms office at 6. Because I remember one night I pulled over the captain of the base. I didn't know it was the captain. I pulled him, he was so fucked up. He was drunk as shit. And I go up to the driver's side window, I go, oh fuck, that's the captain. And he had a girl in the car with him. And I don't know who the girl was, but it was not the lady in all the pictures all over the base with them. I ain't trying to start no shit. So when I saw it was the captain, I said, hey, how you doing, sir? We got two choices. You can give me your keys and I'll drop you off at your house and just pick up the keys in the morning when I get off at 6 a.m. Or I can give you a field sobriety test and we can see how that works out. And he goes, because I don't want to pull you over tonight. You're by yourself. so he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go with the first option. I said, that's a smart move, sir. So I dropped him off by himself at his house. Next morning, 6 a.m., we had shift change. Everybody's freaking out. They're like, oh, fuck, the captain's outside. The captain's outside. I know I was there. I got the motherfucker's keys. So I walked outside. He had his hand right here. I just dropped him in there. He grabbed it. I thought nothing of it. Thought it was over with. Week later, I'm at midday muster. My chief calls me up. Petty Officer Owen, front and center. I go, who the fuck snitched? So I go up there, and my chief was like, we got a letter of accommodation from the captain of the base. What a fine job you're doing on night patrol. I was like, me? Yeah, I was like, oh. Yeah, he doing too much right now, bro. But once I realized that happened, I was like, oh, I don't have to salute him anymore because I had to see him on the base, and I tell my boys, watch, I'm gonna walk up to the captain, I ain't gonna salute him. They say, motherfucker, you gonna get in trouble. I'll be like, watch. I'll be walking up, I go, how you doing, sir? He goes, ooh, this motherfucker right here, he's back.
Last week, there's a comedian, Capone. I've known this guy for, 15 years. We went on tour together in 2011 and 2012 with the Shaq Comedy All-Star Tour. Now, I remember in 2011, the Shaq Tour was me, D. Ray Davis, Corey Holcomb, Michael Blackson, and Capone. Hell of a lineup. That show was fire every night. And so you kind of follow these guys from afar, and Capone's always been cool, always been a good dude. But I noticed he hasn't been active on social media. And I go, something's up with this dude. Because he's always promoting his shows, telling people where to go and go see him and stuff. And then all of a sudden, he pops up. Something's wrong with his heart. He had surgery, like open heart surgery. And he's recovering now, but he's off the road. And I saw somebody started to GoFundMe and everything. Now, I DM'd him. I don't have his current cell number. It's been years since I've talked to him, even though you follow each other on social media. So, if anybody knows Capone, get a hold of him. Tell him, check his DMs on Instagram. I'll keep my message between me and him. That's what I love about our community, man, is we might talk shit. You might hear about the beefs. But when quote unquote the shit hits the fan, if you're good to people in this business and you do right by them, they're there. I've seen so many benefit shows. I saw a big one with DL and Cedric. Was a benefit for Sinbad. I saw other comics posting with Capone, and they shared a GoFundMe. So if anybody knows Capone, you're watching the podcast, just reach out to him. Tell him to check his DMs for me. I left him a message. I wanted to get a hold of him and see what I can do to help in any way possible, because he was always a good dude. But it's wild to me that I got off the road for that, and then Capone made one of his videos. He made a comment saying, they told me to slow down, but I got to pay my bills. Bills got to be paid. I understand it, and I will say, it's important as a stand-up, when you see something happen to Capone and you talk about Robin Harris and me listening to my body, man, it also is time you reflect on your career and everything. And it's wild that once you start selling tickets and you make it, those stories are great. It's always good to stay at nice hotels and have nice things and everything. But in the beginning, I still think if I'm being honest, the best time I ever had as a stand-up was when I first started. The open mics, the hanging out with guys that you did not know were going to end up being moguls. Kevin Hart, Nick Cannon. I'll just say to all the young comics out there, enjoy the ride. Don't worry about the money. I had an instance where I was talking to one of my openers, and we was talking about comedians, and in particular some of the younger comedians, and how some of them get really over concerned with what other people are making, or they're not being treated right and things like that. And I'm always like, even when I was coming up, I never ever worried about what anybody else had, ever. I was always like, all right, I got to figure out how to get mine. I would get frustrated, and I still get frustrated when it comes to like not having a Netflix special. Back in the day, it was not having a Comedy Central special or an HBO special. That would get frustrating, but I never blamed the comics, or I never got mad at the comics that they picked or got jealous, like, why'd they pick him and not me? I'm funnier than him, or I'm funnier than her. That was never my attitude. It was like, all right, well, who's in charge? How do we get me in front of the person that's making these decisions? That's why I like where we're at in stand-up right now, because there's no gatekeepers anymore. We got it. We got it. That's why we help each other out in this business. You know, when I canceled my European run, first person I reached out to was Mojo Brooks, because he had messaged me saying, hey, we were at the same venue the same night. In London, we were at the Leicester Square Theater. And he had the 7 o'clock show. I had a 9:30 show. And his shows sold out. And my shows was the 10th and 11th. We were there the 10th and 11th of July. The 10th was, my show was basically sold out. I had like 20 tickets left. And the 11th was on the way to selling out. But I called him. I messaged him and I said, yo, we were supposed to link up. I was going to go to his show. He was coming to mine. We were going to do some crowd work together. We was going to collab on some stuff. I was excited. And first thing I did was message him and say, hey, I'm not doing London. He saw the post where I said I had to shut it down. He goes, damn, bro, take care of yourself. I messaged him. I said, yo, call your people. Get that 9:30 time slot. You're already sold out. You're already going to be there. Get those 2 extra shows in. Make that extra money. Get that extra stage time. Hopefully you'll get a viral clip off that. So he took the 9:30 slot that I had. Both shows sold out. So now Mojo, on that Friday and Saturday, instead of 2 shows, he's got 4 shows. Now he's doubled his money on those 2 nighs. Not because of me, because of what he's doing in his career, but I wanted him to take those shows and I wanted them to sell out. Mojo's a cool dude. He's killing it right now. And I was like, that's just what we do.